You guys ready for a Protoss versus Zerg? Post in the chat if you want a Protoss versus Zerg. If you don't want a Protoss versus Zerg, well, you're in the wrong place. So. All right, let's do this. And go. Yeah. Alright, so we're into game number 4 of the mGG versus TCP battle. Bringing out the big guns is mGG. It looks as if they are going to have one of their very high-ranked players in a Protoss coming out. Just not try and screw that up. Alright, so starting up at the top right-hand side in the blue is our Protoss player. I'm glad he actually selected the right color. His opponent didn't. It is mGG Alpha. We're going to put him in caps just because I can. Wait, hang on. That's the wrong thing. Why didn't you guys tell me that was the wrong thing for him? I hate using that board thing. Alright, so there's a shout out here to Vroom 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 and also Callum. There you go, Callum, you're famous on the internet. And his opponent down at the bottom left-hand side, of course, in the pink, the winner of the previous game with a very cool little 10 pull against the double proxy racks is the Zerg player from TCP, stormz. Alright, so Daybreak, of course, we are back here on Daybreak, a very cool map. So, looks as if Alpha feels as if he is confident on this map. Of course, it is a very macro-orientated map. Fruit's on the wrong side. Oh, it is too. You know what? Screw this thing. Hang on. How do you do that? I think there's a quick way to do that. Eh! Ah! Pretty clever. Hang on, I better change into pink. There you go. Alright. Now we're all good. So we flipped it around and we're all good. Alpha, of course, is going to be going for a Forge Fast Expand. Question will be, is he going to be able to throw down some cannons perhaps? Nope, but he does throw down a safety pylon. I like to call it the safety pylon because you're basically guaranteed to actually block the hatchery. When you just come down and throw it in there straight away. What this does, of course, is it forces the Zerg to worry about cannons, which is going to be the play of the day here from Alpha at the moment. Throws down one cannon, says, you know what, screw your expansion, you're not taking it just at the moment. And the drones come along. I'm not sure what the plan is here from stormz. He does bring out 2 of those drones. You normally need around about 4 to actually take down a cannon before it completes. It looks as if Alpha is going to come through with his probe and have a little how do you do here. And it looks, there's the 4th drone. Good timing there, but is the cannon going to complete? I think it is. 1, 2 shots on the 2nd drone, so that's 3 drones now dead and a 4th as well. The cannon does, of course, take a few shots from the lings there, but it is just going to survive. Of course, the pull did complete, meaning that those lings came out very quickly, and Alpha, oh wow, cannon stays alive on 10 HP. That guy is trying to teabag those lings right now, and it looks as if there is almost an Overlord kill back at home for Alpha as well. So a very interesting start. This, of course, means that that stormz will want to try and take his side expansion up at the top, which is normally the 3rd, but it looks as if Alpha is going to come by. Is he going to try and cannon this one as well? No? No. Come on. You know you want to. All you need to do is throw a pylon around about here, and then you're all good to go. But it's going to be a little bit too late because the lings are already on the way. There are 2 lings just coming across, and they're going to try and make sure that that pylon does not go up. You can't actually see it, but you can assume that it's going to happen because that sneaky probe did get away and is going to try and get these cannons going. So stormz is going to attack on the pylon for... Oh, I don't know if he should have cancelled that. You could have actually got the pylon up, but... Either way, cancelled it, the probe dies, and that base is definitely going up. So we're in a little bit of a good start here for Alpha. He's denied his opponent from getting up the hatchery very quickly, which is the normal way that a Zerg will want to play. We do see a 2nd gate here as well. Interesting. Strokes beard. Interesting. So Alpha may want to try and put on a little bit of pressure right at the start. I'd be interested to see if he's going to chrono out a couple of stalkers. He did try and throw a chrono on this gateway, but was unfortunately pylon blocked for the time being, so he was not able to continue on with the production of that. But I'm thinking the plan initially would have been to actually get up a try and get up a couple of stalkers to try and push across to his opponent. But now as the pylon goes down, there is a second one being built. I'm not sure if it's going to make it. It may actually make it just in time. Yes, it does. The cannon, meanwhile, keep in mind, only has 10 HP, but it does have almost full shields. And the queen, it could be in a little bit of trouble here. She's going to need to either back up very soon or make sure she kills that pylon, and it is not going to happen. Bam. Queen goes down. A little bit of a misplay there from stormz. He probably should have backed out a little bit earlier, or perhaps should have come at this the cannon while it was at very low HP just before, and even though you would have lost a couple more links, he may have been able to get it. But chrono boosting a few zealots and a stalker out is Alpha, so he's just going to continue on to power out these units at the moment, and Overlord can see almost all of what is going on. So perhaps stormz will be able to try and do something about this, but instead of worrying about his units, just at the moment he's actually getting a very quick hatch up in the middle of the map. There is now a proxy pylon here for Alpha as well. And it looks as if things are going to get very messy for stormz very soon, because there are going to be some units powering their way across. I'm assuming that Alpha will have prepared a couple more gateways by the time that his warp gate tech is done. If he wants to do that, you'd better throw him down right about now. But just for the moment, just keep an eye. Look at that. High level play there, guys. You'd think that's a little bit odd to be just patrolling a probe there, but that's just in case of a Nidus Worm. When you've blocked a Zerg like this, when you've made sure that they can't take this normal sort of natural hatchery, a Nidus Worm is definitely a possibility. But he's not going to pressure. I'm very interested to see how he's going to do this. He is going to head across the map. He does have a total of 4 stalkers out, 3 zealots, and a couple of sentries also being warped in as well. But behind all of this, he is going to get a very, very quick third base up. This is the 8-minute mark. Keep in mind. This is the 8-minute mark. This is crazy stuff here from Alpha right now. But stormz has been taking his time to really boost up the harvester count up to 51 right now. But he is going to have an issue with that, because with no units actually being produced, he's going to have a lot of trouble trying to defend this. I would say that Alpha is going to try and target down the hatch. Yes, he is. If he can get rid of the hatch, that'll put himself in a very nice position. The drones do have to evacuate for the time being. They're going to get out of there because the storm is coming. Ha 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 ha. And that hatchery is not going to last too long. So Alpha putting on just constant pressure throughout this game and just expanding right behind it. As we can see, the hatchery does go down. Meanwhile, this is a beautiful trade for Alpha. As we can see, he's going to be able to perhaps even get this base as well. The spine crawlers not being built until very, very late here. There are units now out. There are quite a few lings just about to pop out, but they do have speed. But unfortunately, even with speed, there are quite a few stalkers there, and he should be able to handle that. But the big thing is that a lot of these drones are going down to those zealots. So Alpha has done quite a lot of damage, and of course is expanded behind all of this. With extra gates going up, we'll see if he does pick up any more tech, but he does not have gases 3 and 4, nor 5 and 6. So he's going to be struggling for a gas once this tech actually gets started. So we'll see how he proceeds with this. He's going to get up double a robo just here. We've got +1 to weapons just about to complete. The base just here at the middle section of the map is also under threat. Of course, a lot of lings now popping out. A couple of zealots also going to come and help with the defense of those stalkers. Going to screen them out, but the lings do get behind the stalkers. Some of the stalkers getting a little bit low on their health, but they will dominate that battle, of course, with their +1 now kicking in. The hatchery is going to be in a little bit of trouble, but it looks as if the drones are going to come to the defense, and stormz really does need to keep this hatch alive, needs to keep the majority of his drones alive, and needs to get these roaches out, because if this stalker count continues to just boost up as it is, Alpha is just going to have an easy time with this game, and it looks as if that is already going to happen, because the hatchery is just about to die. The cannon is still alive. This hero cannon with 9 kills is still alive. Alpha now up to 59 probes, so he is certainly looking good from an economic point of view. Double immortals are now also being pumped out from him as well. He knows that the road switch is on the way, and that is going to be a little bit of a threat to him if he is not careful, but with the stalker count reaching high numbers of 9, almost 10, he's going to be able able to really dominate those roaches, but the drone count is starting to whittle down. 33 drones, and Alpha is really getting into a just dominating position in this game, and the roachling flood has kind of started, but I mean, what can you do when you've only got one hatchery? Perhaps a macro hatch inside the main would have been nice, like right here. But I think that stormz is going to go for that Nidusworm. The lair is halfway done. He's going to perhaps try and look for that that Nidusworm somewhere on the map. Does he actually? He doesn't actually have any vision. Maybe not. But you know, that is quite a possibility. The hero cannon finally does go down, and wow, that is. A very, very late cannon kill there, but Alpha has been really sort of pushing himself around the map and just dominating stormz anywhere that he tries to go. Gases are up. The 5 and 6 gas are here for Alpha, so he will be able to pick up that extra gas income. As we can see, the double immortal production has cooked out 4 of those immortals. We've now got double observers just on the way, and Alpha's economy is going to be out of control. We've got around about 600-700 gas coming in, 1,800 minerals coming in against the Zerg, who only has 800 and 200. So things are looking extremely grim for stormz right about now. He's going to need to pull. I tell you what, he's definitely going to need to pull a rabbit out of the hat. When you are when you're half the supply of a I was about to say when you are double down the supply. That's a food. That's not a number. When you are half the supply of a Protoss, you know things are looking very, very dangerous. Especially when there is double robo chronoing out these big units here. There are observers and warp prisms on the way. So I think we're going to see a very, very nicely timed warp prism immortal sentry kind of style here. In fact, it's just going to have everything. There are going to be zealots, there are going to be stalkers as well, and Alpha is probably just going to dominate in a moment here. But as you can see, looks as if the Lings and the Roaches are going to try and push up here. They do find that there is a gateway wall right at the front. Is he going to be able to find the 4th base? There is a 4th base, no joke. There is a 4th base at 15 minutes here from Alpha. He's just that much, he's just in the lead that much right about now. So things are looking very good for him. Meanwhile, back at home for stormz, he's got the Evo chambers just pulsing away there, getting +2 to the weapons and the carapace for ground units. Of course, that is not the roaches, so the roaches are going to have a little bit of a hard time actually getting some damage done. But a warp in with a couple of zealots is going to distract the forces of stormz. He's going to need to get up here and get rid of these zealots as quickly as he can. That proxy pylon is a very nice spot, but down inside the main base, it looks as if we did have another drop of some zealots as well. Stormz is going to be pulled in all directions like Mr. Fantastic, because there are zealots inside the main, there are zealots inside the 3rd, and there is going to be a lot of everything else coming through the natural base in just a moment as well. +1/1 on these units is kicking in quite nicely, making sure that these zealots can take some hits and put out some hits as well. And the Lings trying to get inside. We'll be able to defend most of these zealots, although not when they bunch up inside that position right there. And as we can see, the Roaches did dispose of the rest of the drones at the 3rd base, but not without a large amount of workers lost. 40 workers down right now is stormz. He's lost so many of them, obviously having to defend against the attacks and then having to defend against these drops that are coming in right now. And the big battle is about to commence with Alpha now pushing in. There is a GG, and stormz is out of this game straight away.